Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is Dylan. We are back here with another tier list. Today we're going to update my best quarterback ability tier list in Madden 22. Now, this isn't going to matter whether you're on current gen, next gen, if you're a CFM player, or you're a Madden Ultimate Team player. We're gonna be going over every single quarterback ability and just giving you my thoughts on it. But before we do go on ahead, get into the tier list, if you are new to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you go ahead, leave a like on the video, and also subscribe if you do enjoy. I drop almost daily Madden content on the channel. My end of year goal for Madden 22 is to hit 10K subscribers. We just recently hit 4K. I greatly appreciate y'all, man. Now we're gonna get into it. Today, the face cam is gonna be on the right side. So you should be able to see every single ability that I'm gonna go over. The first one right here is gonna be Agile Extender. Now, the one right next to it is Anchored Extender. They're pretty much almost the same thing. Likely chance to evade a blitzing DB, right? And I think they are both pretty like mid abilities, so I'm gonna put them in the C tier. It's just these abilities were really good in say like Madden 20, where there was like a meta of kind of 1-4-6. Remember that blitz? Where it was basically just a corner would come in free even if you blocked the running back and all that. I feel like now, you could say 2-4-5 odd maybe is something you could run this against if you really just don't even want to pick up the blitz. I think a lot of blitzes now are just simply block your running back, you pick up the blitz, you know what I mean? So I don't really think these abilities are too necessary. Honestly could see them like D tier, but I think C tier, they're okay. Now I'm also gonna go ahead, not spend a whole lot of time on these, but like Homer, Indoor Baller, stuff like that. Everything that gives you a better chance to get your X Factor is going in the F tier. So all these ones right here, did not mean to put that in the D tier, but all of these are pretty much just a waste of AP. I think I got every single one of them. Yeah, they're just really a waste of AP. Like there's just no point to run them, right? So you could potentially get something on your field. I know they're like 1 AP, right? You get something on your field to go ahead and actually benefit you every single play, or you could get something that would maybe benefit you, right? Because these, like, sure, you could stack them and maybe somewhat guarantee you'll get your X Factor, but I mean, quarterback X Factors, what do you have? Like Omaha, and if you get sacked, you just instantly get rid of it. I just don't think any of these are worth it, unless, you know, you're like a YouTube content creator or something, trying to get a gameplay, get an X Factor on someone, then I'm like, okay, I can see why you run them. But for like an everyday person, if you're trying to win games, I don't think these are the way. Now we get our first really good ability, in my opinion, Conductor right here. I'm gonna actually put it in the A tier. Conductor isn't something that I would say is a main ability, right? Like it's not an S tier ability, but it's a really good ability. Pretty much what this does is make you like hot route faster, if that makes sense, right? So you know when you usually line up, if you're trying to do multiple hot routes, it'll pretty much like freeze after you do one hot route and you can't really do nothing, right? Well, this pretty much just makes it to where you can do a bunch of different hot routes, snap the ball really fast before the defense can adjust. And you know, we're playing online Madden a lot. If you're playing online games, especially, you know, you can potentially match up with someone from the West Coast. If you're East Coast, you can match up with someone from the East Coast if you're West Coast, right? And that input lag definitely plays a major factor in like weekend league games and stuff when people are trying to adjust their defense. So just being able to put a bunch of different routes on the field and really just being able to kind of adjust faster than your opponent definitely puts you at an advantage for offense. I just don't think it's quite S tier, but I think it's a really good ability. Now Dashing Deadeye right here, I'm not a fan of Dashing Deadeye. So ever since they kind of put the number on Dashing Deadeye, right, like perfect pass actually while moving for 20 yards, I'm not a fan of Dashing Deadeye. I'm gonna put it in the C tier. I think it's a pretty mid ability. I really just like, sure, it'll give you perfect accuracy while you're moving, but while we're talking about it, I'm just gonna move this up so we can talk about it right now. Roaming Deadeye it's literally better, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys, if I had to choose a Deadeye ability, I'm picking between 1 or 2, okay? And roaming for me is also going to be in the A tier. I just don't think it's quite S tier, especially on next gen. So the reason why I don't put it S tier is because a lot of times you don't even need the ability to get good accuracy, right? Like if you played against Josh Allen, do you see the throws he makes even without like roaming Deadeye? It guarantees you some consistency, which is nice, but I just don't quite think it's really that needed. It's one of the better Deadeye abilities though. Next up right here, we have our first S tier ability, Escape Artist. It's not, I don't know if I call it the best ability in the game, but this ability is actually broken, like especially on next gen Madden 22. When there's a quarterback that gets Escape Artist and a throw power ability, You thought defense was hard. Now defense is really going to be absolutely impossible once that happens. Like, it's insane. Your escape artist QB can pretty much outrun and contain. They can outrun QB spies, even if, you know, they're faster. But the escape artist team is like a super speed boost. And if you have watched any of the MCS last week, AI Nash completely went ahead, used escape artist, and had a crazy scheme, and he's gonna go ahead and move on to the final four. He also kind of changed my mind on Marcus Mariota. The next time I update my best QB tier list, Marcus Mariota for sure is going up in the tier list after seeing what he did with them. But escape artist, easily one of the best abilities in the game, and has been since abilities were introduced in the game. Now we have fearless right here. Fearless is good. Fearless is good. I don't know if I'm gonna put it A tier. It's either A or B, right? It's either A or B for sure. I gotta think about this. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I could see it A tier, but the amount of under pressure and accuracy you get in the pocket is actually kind of crazy. I just wish the ability was a little bit cheaper in AP, and I'll pretty much put Gutsy Scrambler right next to it. The difference between these abilities is Gutsy Scrambler is going to be outside the pocket. Fearless is going to go ahead be inside the pocket. Like, if Fearless and Gutsy Scrambler were a 1 AP ability, I think they could make potentially the jump from B tier all the way into A tier. Like, oh man, like, these abilities are good, right? They're really good. I just think roaming Deadeye, Conductor, and obviously like escape artist, just a little bit better than them. It can go ahead, get rid of some of the fluky stuff that does happen in the game though, like under pressure and accurate. Now next up right here we have gift wrapped. Gift wrapped, I'm gonna lob it into the C tier. Could maybe see it B, but it's just kind of like an okay ability. So what it is designed for, completes higher percentage passes to uncovered targets. If I need an ability for that, like, I just don't see the point, right? Like, I get it. Sure, you'll go ahead and make sure your uncovered receivers will go ahead and catch the ball, right? But I just would want my receivers to catch the ball, period. And it's also 2 AP on some archetypes, so it's a little bit expensive and an ability that's not really worth it. Now, coming up next, High Route Master, for sure gonna be in the S tier. I do think this year Escape Artist is better than High Route Master, given how easy offense is on Madden 22 next gen. On current gen, it's kind of a toss-up, I think, but High Route Master is just, it can make any formation good, right? You get good crossers, you get skinny posts, so many routes that otherwise would not be in your playbook. You could go ahead, create a scheme out of literally anything, and I think that's the value of High Route Master, right? Especially if you want to be an off-meta player, I think High Route Master is so valuable. Now this is where I might get a little bit of heat, and I'm glad these two things are right next to each other. So first one up right here, we have Inside Deadeye. Now Inside Deadeye is going to be 2 AP. I'm going to put Inside Deadeye in the B tier, and here's why. It doesn't work like how it used to, okay? I know a lot of people used to it being going ahead, just perfect accuracy on literally everything, right? It doesn't really work like that anymore. So I get that it's still pretty good. It's Inside Deadeye, pretty much passes on the inside of the numbers, gonna be perfectly accurate. Say, depending on your offense, that could be the majority of the throws you make, but that being 2 AP, I'd rather go ahead, run either roaming Deadeye or actually long range Deadeye. So long range Deadeye was the Deadeye I was talking about when I said if I had to choose a Deadeye, I'm choosing roaming or long range. So in my opinion, this year, when you roll out, the passes you're most likely to miss are going to be the one play touchdowns, right? Like the deep skinny posts over the middle of the field. You're trying to bomb the coverage. This is the thing rolling out that you're likely to miss. So roaming can go ahead, stop that, and long range, you could sit in the pocket and also get away with this. I really like long range Deadeye, because again, this is something to where you could not let go of sprint and it'll go ahead be perfectly accurate if it is a long range throw. So I think long range Deadeye, one of the more slept on abilities in the game. Now no look Deadeye right here. I'm also put it kind of by dashing Deadeye. Again, it has that number associated with it, so it gets cut off at a certain yardage point, but this pretty much kind of bails you out a little bit in the sense that you go ahead, throw cross bodies, and your crossbody throws will go ahead and be accurate. Could see why you run it, but I think this is more of a bailout ability than actually something that's like good. I would again rather the 2 Deadeyes in A tier. Now we got another ability right here, Pass Lead Elite. Pass Lead Elite is actually going into the S tier this year. The reason being is, I'll just do it now. Y'all probably all know Gunslinger is for sure going in the S tier as well. Reason why Pass Lead Elite is in the S tier with Gunslinger this year is because Gunslinger got bumped to 4 AP. So Pass Lead Elite is cheaper than Gunslinger. And since we're talking about all these throw power abilities, Set Feet Lead right here is going into the A tier. So what's the difference between these? Why would you run certain ones, right? So Gunslinger is the one where if you could get it, you would want it. It is the most expensive one. Right now, there's only really strong arm archetypes that can get it. Pass Lead Elite, however, is the one Dan Marino can get. Now, Dan Marino combined with Pass Lead Elite, he has that Aaron Rodgers release, right? Like the fastest release in the game. Pass Lead Elite with that release is pretty much what you're going to get with Gunslinger. And also, the reason why Pass Lead Elite is better than Set Feet Lead, Pass Lead Elite activates on every single throw, right? So Set Feet, you need to have your feet set, right? You need to have your feet set. Roll out, you're not going to be able to really use the Set Feet Lead ability. So you will notice Set Feet Lead does kind of lob passes from here to there as well. So I think Pass Lead Elite is definitely viable this year. You could run it over Gunslinger. Again, it's a little bit cheaper, but Gunslinger kind of guarantees you, hey, we're going to go ahead, activate on every single throw, and speeds up the quarterback's release. I think for sure, though, these abilities, one of them is for sure necessary. Actually, I mean, AI Nash was out here dotting people up without any throw power ability. So I think on current gen, for sure, you need one of these abilities. Next gen, you might just need Escape Artist, to be honest with you. You know, it's a little bit easier to move on offense on next gen. We got Pocket Deadeye right here. Now, I think it's on the same level as Inside Deadeye. I could see it maybe being A tier, but I just, again, would rather prefer the long range or the roaming Deadeye. I get Pocket Deadeye is good. If you stay in the pocket a lot, I could see why you run it, especially running a little bit lower overall of a quarterback. I think this is where that really helps. Now, Protected right here. Protected is such a freaking waste, dude. It does not matter. Your O-linemen are still going to get shedded. I'm going to put a D tier just because it's an absolute waste. And it's 2 AP where you could spend that on literally anything else. Protected is always so bad. Now, an ability I really like, Quick Draw. I'm actually going to put Quick Draw. It's either B or A. Similar to on the level as like a Fearless, I think. I'm going to put a B tier. Could see it A tier. But Quick Draw is actually really, really good. I love this ability. Kind of like the same way as Conductor, right? Kind of like a secondary ability that maybe not a lot of people run, but I could see why you run it. It speeds up your release under pressure. Again, this year, very fluky on defense sometimes. Those under pressure inaccurates, the throw out of sacks. I'm pretty sure this ability is the throw out of sack counter. Now, Red Zone Deadeye right here. Perfect pass accuracy in the red zone. Gonna put it in the D tier. It just, when you're in the red zone, in my opinion, I think it's a lot harder to pass anyway. So you're probably gonna look to run the ball a little bit more. And I just don't like how it's only like it only activates in the red zone, right? Like there's other Deadeyes that activate no matter where you are. Now, Safety Valve right here. I think this is a fine ability. The only problem with it that I have is you can basically get this on your running back and also give them a boost to beat their coverage. So what this does is give you consistent catching from running backs who beat their coverage, right? So it helps with their catching, but you can put an ability like backfield mismatch, backfield master on the running back and go ahead and get better routes and catching, like both of those combined. So I'm gonna put it like C tier. I think it's like okay, but I would much rather just have one of those running back abilities. Now, Sideline Deadeye right here. I think it's okay. I'd put it on the same level as like an Inside Deadeye, Pocket Deadeye, another 1 AP one. This is pretty much, if you really wanted to, you could combine Pocket Deadeye and Sideline Deadeye, and I think you'd go ahead and be perfectly fine. Or like a Sideline Inside Deadeye type combo. I think you could go ahead and basically get Inside Deadeye from last year. But it's 3 AP, so it's a lot. Now, next up right here, we have Sleight of Hand, which honestly, when you read the ability, it has potential, but it does not do what it says. So higher success on pump fakes and double moves. So when you think about that, right? In my head, what my head goes to, right, is the second part. It says higher chance of success on double moves. I feel like it does not help your double moves beat man coverage at all. I think this ability is an absolute waste. So the next ability right here is called tight out. This is going to give you consistent catching from tight ends who beat their coverage. I think this ability actually has a lot of potential given some of the things that got patched. I'm going to put it in the C tier for right now. Given that short and elite and matchup nightmare are both 2 AP, this is 1 AP. I could see this being very, very good. Now, lofting Deadeye right here. I hate lofting Deadeye. I'm gonna put it in the D tier. So what this does is guarantee like your loft pass, your lob passes are gonna be perfectly accurate. I hate it. I hate lob passes. I'll just say that right now. Lob passes, sure, sometimes they have their like point and everything, but I feel like this is such a specific ability, it's just not worth it. Now, right here, you're probably like, why is there a human joystick on my screen? Quarterbacks can get human joystick. So what this ability is, it's going to be fast break. I couldn't get a picture of fast break, so we're just going to use human joystick. You know, kind of makes a little bit of sense. Fast break could really be S tier depending on your offense, but I'm going to put it like B tier. I just don't think running that style of offense with your quarterback is that effective, and you could just kind of get away with the same things using Escape Artist. Now right here we have QB Playmaker. This is one that definitely is going to be completely different on your console. So next gen, I think it's like F tier. Your change of direction is already so bad. Playmaker really isn't going to help you, but on current gen, I'd put it in like the B tier. It's just another crazy expensive ability. It's crazy expensive, but at the end of the year, you could probably go ahead equip QB Playmaker with a like a set feet lead, something like that, and that could be perfectly fine towards the end of the year. But it's gonna be in total like probably 12 out of your 14 AP. And yeah, that's pretty much been it. Just off the top of my head, I know there's a couple abilities that I didn't get pictures of, like Threat Detector. I'd go ahead and put Threat Detector in like the D tier. It's just way too expensive. If you play like CFM, reg, stuff like that, I would highly recommend it. That's something more I think of as offensive lineman ability anyway. And also things like recuperation, second wind to help your quarterback stamina. I'd probably put it in like the C tier. If you run like that style of offense, running with your quarterback a lot, it is actually something good to have to make sure your quarterback doesn't lose a lot of stamina. And lastly, Identifier is one that again, I think of more as an offensive line ability than a quarterback ability. But if you want to run Identifier, I think it's either A or S tier. It's one of the better 1 AP abilities in the game. You get to see what your opponent is using. It definitely has its uses and can help you kind of picture a defense. Yeah, y'all, other than that though, this has been my best quarterback ability tier list. Let me know down in the comments what you agree with, what you disagree with, what you think should be higher. What are you rocking on your quarterback? Let me know. If I was able to help you, with this video, or told you maybe something you didn't know about an ability. Maybe you want to try a new ability like long range Deadeye. Let me know in the comments as well. I appreciate y'all clicking onto the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to smack that like button and also subscribe. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, but other than that, y'all, has been your boy Dill, and I'm out.